What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 2 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Skarbrand the Exiled Immortal Empires campaign. Just look at this guy. Oh, he cannot stand still. I like how the blood speaker is just calmly just standing there. This guy is just going nuts. But anyway, as we saw last time, we had our first episode basically filled with destroying the top knots, and by and large completing their destruction at Galbaraz. They do technically have Grunting Mingle, but I don't imagine that they will have it for much longer at that. And in fact, we ended the last episode off with a tiny amount of enemies here, so I think what we'll do is we'll auto-resolve what remains after... Oh, right, we're saving the points for Skarby. Gotta get that Rage Incarnate. I suppose we could level you up, sir, though. And, oh, actually, we're saving your points for various things as well. Damn it. All right, fine, fair enough. What about you guys? Can we level somebody here? I mean, we could give them a Route Marcher or something. Do we need to save their... Oh, actually, we do save their points because they unlock theirs at only rank 6. Oh, that's quite nice, actually. All right, fine, fair enough. Galbaraz, we will hit you. Auto-resolve. And, oh, wow, that was... Really? We lost more demonic units than... Really, we lost more than they'd... Okay, game. Fair enough, fair enough. Annoying, but fair enough. And then we will sack the place rather than immediately occupying it. Because this will preserve Skarbrand's movement range. Then, whoever can move less far, which is going to be you, is going to occupy Galbaraz, like so, with the 2.5k skulls that we got for defeating all of the orcs there. And I guess we'll keep this as a dimensional tear, so we can repair this. And then this one we were going to switch immediately, well, not immediately, but soon we're going to switch to the Infernal Citadel, so yeah, that will work out. Hopefully Khemri doesn't attack us in the next couple of turns, but if they do, they do. It's not like we care that much. Then, Skarby, you are losing mana once again, so I think what we can do here is... Campaign movement range minus 25, Austin stance, But do we have to, out of curiosity here, if we do this, 1 second. Oh, actually, we'll probably want to heal up with these guys, right? Yeah. Alright, fine, so we'll do this. You are gonna go right here. Skarby, you are going to switch to Channeling Stance or Combat Trials, like so. You gain 17 skulls, but in reality, you are going to trade them all to Rogher. Like so. Skarby's not going to heal this way, but what he will do is top himself up and also move out forward a little bit like so, so that we can make sure that we can reach Grunting Mingle next turn. And we can directly occupy it. I do wonder, wait, do we have a port? We don't have a port. I was wondering whether ports would increase our growth rate, and I'm not entirely sure that they do or they don't, but... I'll probably have to grab one just to find out. Alright, speaking of growth rate, we really want to grow our main province, if nothing else so that it can defend itself, and so that we can max out this iron building to get the cheaper recruitment cost. In that light, we'll probably want to start off with another growth building, at least they're cheap. And I guess we could build the same thing here, War Arena. Not as cheap as I'd like, mind you, but oh well. And then Agrul Migdal, we will go for... I mean, I guess we'll upgrade you to the Dimensional Breach as well. You're gonna be mortal, you're gonna be mortal, and then you can be demonic. I think that'll work. Alright, anyway, we got techs available because we've done the battles, so we can pick up serial killing, but oh, campaign movement range for blood hosts, don't really care about that right now. Slaughterous Pride gives us that relentless rage, which is also nice, or we could just ignore it. You know what, I think we're gonna ignore it. I want to get to skull flensing as fast as possible. More skulls will make it a lot easier, and then we'll probably want to go to Reaper of Ages as fast as possible as well, because obviously income from, or the additional hero capacity is always going to be of tremendous value. You need Inspiring Presence, sir. Like so, and you will go into... Right, so I think you can, in fact, raid. So go here into enemy territory. Yeah, we still heal while raiding, so we can still get a little decent bit of XP. That'll work. Alright, happy with that. You don't have mana, but you don't need it because you're not a main army, and when you are not commanding a force, we will have you channel. Otherwise, I believe we're good to go. There's nothing to build and only turns to be ended. I suppose we could also go for the growth structure here. Frankly, we could also use a control building At least in some places. Control +1 whenever a battle is fought, deteriorating at 1 point per turn. So it's basically... With one army, this doesn't really do much of anything. Because we're unlikely to fight more than one battle per turn. I guess we'll start with the growth then. Granted, we get growth through battles as well. Next up, what we should probably do is increase our chances. Post-battle Luke could have used that before attacking, but anyway. Grab Dissipation's Domain to get the chance to automatically colonize ruins in your provinces so that we don't have to spend skulls on this. It, in theory, assuming that it works within the 5 turns, will save us 1.5k skulls. So let's go for Dissipation's Domain. Plus, we have to go through this thing anyway. Yeah. And what do we have here? Send 8,000 skulls to the Skull Throne, gives us a Bloodstone. Oh, interesting. We have an item that reduces vigor loss for bloodletters, should we have a sufficient amount of them. That's nice. I should probably do like a horde of bloodletters army just at some point. Ones that we're, willing to lose. Might be useful. Oh, wow, what the heck? Huh, that's kind of interesting. Startosa has no aversion to us? They're undead. We should definitely have massive aversion to them. Well, I guess technically they're... you know what? Technically they're not undead. It's just that the game has a sort of given the Vampire Coast to them. Or made them a Vampire Coast faction, even though they shouldn't be. So you know what? Fair enough. That actually makes sense. I'll ignore that. Skip, and turn. We'll take out Gronti Mingle. Oh, and what does Salt do again? Post-battle loot income plus 10% faction-wide. Oh, wow. Salt is really nice as well. Yeah, I do like it when all of these trade goods give us a ton of value. It actually makes me want to, invest into yellow territories rather than just green territories, and occasionally even red territories, and just because sometimes the trade goods are that worth it. Not always, of course, but certainly here. Alrighty, and it looks like we're good. Desires of Morcane destroyed, and oh, huh. Okay, well, I'm kind of impressed by that. Good job. Just out of curiosity, if we get... we're not going to give you Galbaraz, but yes, we could vassalize you by giving you Galbaraz or Hogrul Migdal, which we will do neither. But if we grab... Oh. We can't take one of these, or can we? Do you have to activate your thing in order to turn this into a blood ground, right? So if we book it on over there and grab that real quick, we could, in theory, vassalize you. And with the Beastmen sort of protected by our own territories, we might be able to keep a hold of their territory, or, keep them alive. So I'm gonna think about... Anyway, Skarby, you are going to besiege, and you are going to reinforce. Or rather, Skarby, you are going to walk in. Then you're going to transfer the troops to him. Like so, close defeat. Yeah, alright, you to Skarby, please. Real quick, cranial collection. Alright, you guys go in, and now that should be a quick little auto-resolve with... Fleshhound's getting damaged, but I'm not surprised by it. And here... I think rather than waiting for this one, we'll just occupy it. I want to see if we get immediate growth out of the port. And +5. Very little. Maybe not worth it, but all good. We had to know. Plus, oh. Do we want to keep you as a dimensional tear, or do we want to make you mortal? You got Bloodletters, Fleshhounds, and Skull Cannons versus Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Oh, so the mortal territories will have much better in the way of defenses. I guess then the question is, do we want more mortal or more demonic locations? We get hero capacity +1 for cultists out of this versus, I suppose, Blood Reapers out of this. Well, the question is, who will we need more of? Also, Khorne can't steal tech, can they? Damage, establish cult wounds, hinder replenishment. No, we get tech through building the Brass Ziggurat, which is a mortal mounts building. Aha. Alright, and the tier 3 gives us +4, meaning we need these everywhere, meaning we need more of the mortal territories than the demonic territories. Alright, well, at least that question's been answered. You, Skarby. I'm almost tempted to just grab Call to Bloodletting and ignore all this. I mean, not ignore so much as... put this to use. Because Skarbrand's going to be fighting a lot and, getting us a lot of additional money. The question is, are you so point hungry that you can't have this? I think you're not. Skarbrand is fairly point hungry because a lot of points will go into this, but I think he should have enough to grab Call to Bloodletting, so I think we'll do this for the additional loot. Especially in the early game, it'll allow us to snowball and thereby get more buildings and stuff up and running faster. Frankly, we'll need the trophy chambers everywhere as well. Unfortunately, the garrison provided is kind of meh, but we will eventually be able to get rid of the war arena. Right now, Gorgazan will not be able to defend itself against Khemre because it's too weak. And most likely, if we use the barrier idols as a barrier against, you know, all of this, essentially, we'll most likely have to fortify. But for now, I suppose... You know what? Let's hold off on building the trophy chamber. We're too far to reinforce if we get attacked. We could build a couple more bloodletters. Also, what do we have here? At rank 10, we will get the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, which will go here, which will put us at 18 out of 20. We'll most likely need another Blood Reaper to get a Blood Shrine, which is 19 out of 20. We'll have space for one more unit. Granted, the bloodletters will eventually be transferred out of Skarbrand's army. Yeah, I think nothing here is critical, so we are free to build at least one more bloodletter. Oh, and I forgot about the Chaos Warhounds here. We don't really need the basic doggos when we have flesh hounds. They're just too fragile, unfortunately. I'm gonna say replace them with a second bloodletter. And then whatever else we choose to replace them with. I'd replace them with Furies, but frankly I'm not willing to pay the extra 500 gold and, you know, right now. Next up, do we get further away from from Khemre? Which will put us into potentially dire position if they should attack us. Do we move northward immediately to hit Myrmidons, or the western border princes, which is really nice by virtue of having all of these trade goods, but... Oh, recruitment cost reduction. The main problem with this place is that it is a temperate climate and therefore is yellow territories, whereas Badlands is green territories. Yeah, I think we're not yet ready to invest in those, so we'll go this way into Ekrund instead, which will actually probably help the dwarfs out, but we shall see. Alright, well that's decided. You then... I would like you to march stance this way. Wait, I don't actually want you to trespass in Sunken Kernark. Go this way. I want to see if you can actually colonize one of these and then try to get vassalage out of these guys, because it'll be worth it. We also gotta watch out for, you know, losing out on skulls. Skip, 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 and turn. The other thing I wanted to do was grab that extra Bloodletter hero, or Herald of Khorne, which I guess we should probably do this turn. We saved the money. Might as well keep them leeching XP. Granted, it's gonna cost us like 1,000 gold per turn to have the 2 Blood Speakers and the Herald of Khorne. But at the end of the day, we can put them to good use. I wonder where Black Buckthorn will go. What is this? Ha! Alright, these guys have declared war on us. Well, technically they are bordering us, so that's perhaps not surprising. You have 1 settlement. Well, I guess we're not going northward immediately then. Fair enough. Alrighty, and I was hoping that he'd head down this way so we could attack him from where we are, but alas, not so much. Fair enough. Rokov Dynasty destroyed, not our problem. Void armor, not good enough to care about. We will then have you, Skarby, start march stancing. I'll need to either wipe these guys out or... Huh. Is this an army? I don't know. You know what? Go out to sea. We can go and raise the place, and I guess Raghur will fall. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? There's a little army out here. Okay, I was not expecting that, I will grant. Actually, you know what? That means, Raghur, I'd like you to stay here. The reason for this being that if you move out this way towards Granti Mingol, Skarbrand, stay where you are. If you move this way, then Skarbrand can stay in march stance and we can have Raghur hit you. I think that'll work out nicely. Alright, you need to proceed towards Morgheim without dying, and without trespassing. Yeah. We'll go this way. We'll see about this. Hey, Malagor. Hopefully he doesn't immediately attack us. He shouldn't, but you never know, because he's not at war with anybody. You know what? Join war against Knights of Origo. Yeah, I'm not paying him money, though. While it would be unfortunate if he kills this guy, we'll see. I wonder how Queek feels about him. We shall see as well. Alright, so you have not grown. You are waiting to grow as yet. Your public order is now fairly decent. Hopefully this place will colonize. We've got a 30% chance. It should do it. Then what I'd like to do... Agrul Megdal, no, Gorgazan rather. Let us summon the Seeker of Battle. Upkeep reduction for Khorne demon units. This is just plain worth it. Like so. And then we will grab, wait, Chaos Lord, Violent Killer, and Singed. I like the Banner of Eternal Flame for potential fire armies, but for now I think we're fine as we are. Ooh, and yes, another Mauler Bloodspeaker. Alright, I'm tempted to get one, but would we go bankrupt if we did? Maybe. You know what, let's skip it and then ignore it. What else do we have here? Take control of target unoccupied ruin. This... Oh, funnily enough, we could use this right now to grab Morgheim. Yeah, do it. It doesn't cost us anything. Yeah, fine. Alright. Then, I assume that it is worthless to you? Yeah, more or less worthless, so we will need to build it up. So we will go for, doesn't really matter, and hopefully he doesn't attack us. At least this way we, you know, we don't waste the skulls. End the turn. Well, let's say these guys have an army appear here, and go after Grawl... Kakakamshi. Tweaky, you want that non-aggression pact. You're fighting the Red Fangs. They're pretty much destroyed. You're fighting Crooked Moon Mutniskits, and you're probably going to be fighting Karakazul soon, and frankly everybody down here. I'm going to ignore you for now. Again, I very likely might put it to a vote as to whether we, you know, make friends with some of these factions, or just fight pretty much everybody. Everybody other than potentially Chaos, or, well, in my opinion, everybody other than Norska and Chaos Dwarfs, because units. There isn't really anything out of Queek's or Skaven factions that I would like in our Khornate forces. I just don't think it would do anything for us. They did go over here. Go figure. Mission successful. Oh, right, we had that mission to do the Unholy Manifestation. Red Fangs destroyed, province secured Southern Badlands. I take it the colonization completed itself. Beautiful. You can go mortal. And you will switch to mortal once you're ready to grow. Drawn to destruction, Stormhenge. That's this place, yes. Talisman of Endurance, Research Technologies, working on it. Then, you no longer need to be here, and you certainly don't need to be trespassing anymore, so get the heck out of there. Oh, this counts as trespassing because you were in this territory? It does not. Okay, good. Morgheim, keep building yourself up, and hopefully we can trade it before you are deleted. You, Skarby, you need to go towards Cassillon Grail Hunter, like so. A little bit annoying that he came out here, but the plan worked out essentially, so I'm reasonably happy. Like so, and Skarby reinforce, and auto-resolve. Lovely. Free 20 skulls. How do we only get 20 skulls? I mean, they're not worthy skulls, because they're mostly peasants, but... I guess we'll take the money then. Fair enough. Alright, and then by taking... Ooh, hello. Icon of... Or Great Icon of Despair, that works. By virtue of the fact that you have... Okay, you go here this way again. Southward. By virtue of the fact that you now have the upkeep reduction for 10 turns, you should take Skarby's force. Because it'll be cheaper for you to hold them, right? Except Khorne's Bloody Fist. But everybody else... There you go. Save us 400 gold per turn for the 4 turns that we move southward. Though, by the looks of it, you heal less here than in Skarbrand's army. He heals significantly more. Oh, he has Trophy of Flesh for one more turn. Okay, my bad. Give it back to him. Let him heal for the 1 turn, and then we'll transfer. That makes sense. Also, we gotta try to find a proper fight here. Also, we do have the money to get that other lord that I wanted, the extra Mauler. And I think we probably still should. It's good to pick these up early in SFO because lords become more and more expensive with every single turn, and heroes do as well, so I like to rack up the ones whose traits I like in the early game whenever possible. Alrighty, and we don't have another one of these as yet, but eventually we will. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Menace. Oh, that's better than what we have. Spell resistance for the army and Tormentor Sword? Damn. Oh. Gotta try to find some of those, but we'll need capacities. Anyway, Agrul Megdal, you've now upgraded yourself. I guess we'll keep going for the growth. We should build the trophy chambers everywhere. I just wish they weren't so darn expensive. In theory, we could build the Simmering Anger, but no good. What do we get here? Absolute authority or control gives us a income from post-battle loot +1. which is decent, but isn't anything crazy. Yeah, this would also allow us to generate skulls, but I think I'd rather have the post-battle loot right now. Mostly because the post-battle loot will allow us to invest in, well, get more money and thereby invest in our settlements and thereby get more buildings and armies and units faster. Anyway, commandment now available thanks to Stormhenge. We're, oh wait. You have the control commandment at +8. You need to use the control commandment +8 for a while, but you, I think, for at least some time can switch to growth. And just until we can upgrade Death Gorge to an Infernal Citadel. And the Tier 3, I believe, will give us something important, but I'm not entirely sure what it was. It's not the Blood Shrines. Not the War Shrines, rather. We got Blood Beast Spawn. We've got... Well, we would have Blood Shrines if we wanted them. Oh, wow, we can get Gorby's Chariots early. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. In fact, I probably want to do that. And we can get Chaos Warriors, but they're obviously more expensive than Bloodletters, so we can... we just gotta be careful about that. Anyway, let us end the turn. Huh, has anybody tried using the Unholy Manifestation that summons a little hostile army at sea? I'm curious whether it would... whether it would actually spawn at sea. I've never tried, so I'm not entirely sure. I'll probably try it at some point, but, you know, right now I'd rather save it, because it's a really good ability. I do wish these guys hadn't annoyingly declared war on us, because it's forcing us to go all the way down here. But it is what it is. Global cooldown -1 turn for Skull Throne rituals. Skulls collected from skull piles 50%. Drawn to destruction, floating... I wasn't expecting that. Huh. Okay, well, fair enough. How much is Morgheim worth to you now? Not enough. Not enough by any means. Let us build whichever of the military structures here and see if it's enough. We can upgrade you. We can always cancel you later. We can transfer you Floating Village as well, can we not? We can, which would in fact make Morgheim worth more. You have no money. I'll think about it. Hopefully he doesn't just straight up attack us, but, you know, we'll see. Anyway, technology. We need to win 2 more battles in order to get Skull Flensing, meaning we are free to grab Slaughterer's Pride, then. Also, we should double check, so the recruitment cost -15 for infantry units will be very nice in combination with that iron that we now have. So this might be something we'll want to look into getting early. What I'm looking for right now is whether there's armor buffs for Marauders, but it doesn't look like there are. We get defense buffs, and then armor buffs for Chaos Warriors, but defense for Marauders, eh? Alright, fair enough. Not what I prefer, but fair enough. And what do we need for Killer's Trophy? Basically everything here. Okay, so we'll want to grab that as soon as possible as well. Fair enough. Diplomacy. Not that I'm going to be doing too much diplomatizing over the course of this campaign, especially with the fact that we don't have trade available to us as a Khornate faction. Yeah. Alright, I guess we're moving. Skarby and Roger. Alright, so Skarby... Alright, we did want to trade the units, so I would like you to... Oh, you can travel further, can't you? A fair bit further. I would like you to be able to land at Xandri, so I think we'll forego saving the little bit of cash. Let's see what's going on out here. Military presence is 7, so they do... Aha! They do have a full stack. I don't know if they'll attack us or whether they'll ignore us and try to move towards Gorgazan. The fact, though, is that we cannot risk you dying to one of these guys. Let's move out here. They should, in theory, not be able to reach us. You know, I kind of don't trust it. Never trust the game. Alright, go land in Stormhenge. It's just safer. I'd love to leech the XP, but I also don't want to waste the Lord. Alrighty, looks like that's end the turn. Let's see whether these guys are brave enough to attack Skarby in the water here. And do we want to dedicate anything to the Skull Throne? I'd like to grab Devotion's Tithe. I mean, I guess we're probably going to fight out here. And just out of curiosity, you're fighting Cult of Sigmar. You are Strength rank 24, Cult of Sigmar is losing. So we could help them out by raising some of your territories. Sculling the place up, since we're not likely to invest in these territories right now. Which I might do. Alright, end turn. Just because we're already down here and I just kind of want to fight some stuff. And honestly, I forgot about Tavi. Sorry, Tavi. We'll get you back, don't worry. Frankly, it might be faster to delete or reset him and then get him moving southward by, you know, the re-upping him where Skarbrand is. Ruinous, I don't want any units from you, which is why I don't really care about you, but Chevalier de Lyonesse... On the other hand, this is all yellow territory. Yeah, you know what, it'll probably depend on the vote. Let's decline for now. But we shall see. We very well might, well, Morngulls might work this. Damn. That's unfortunate. I was hoping to avoid this, because I wanted to vassalize him. I should have just traded him one of the settlements for the non-aggression pact. I kind of regret it now, but it's too late. Oh well. Will you take Floating Village? Floating Village. No. Will you take... if only I didn't want Cygors and other things from your army. And what about Morgheim? Heh. Morgheim, you would nearly peace out if we were to give you 1,000 gold. But then... at least we wouldn't have to move back up here right now. I'd hate to spend another 5 turns traveling, that's the thing. I guess just do it. Give me Morgheim. And minus 81. How much is Floating Village worth to you now? Floating Village is worth to you 25. If we upgrade it to tier 3, we might still be able to give it to you. We'll see. Alrighty, as I was saying with you... fine, actually. Alrighty, you cannot reinforce Skarby, and I take it you guys cannot as well? Not that we need to, I just wanted to leech XP. But no, dice. Oh, that's fine. Skarby, you're gonna land. The question is, will you be able to attack these guys? Guess we're about to find out. Could try landing this way and immediately attacking this guy, but his zone of control might actually prevent us from doing it. This might be safer, but it looks like we're too far from Xandri. But oh well. Give it a shot. And what do we get? Yeah, we can reach it. Lovely. You take this. You take the anti-air thing. Not that we... well, actually... now you're not in a Pegasus yet. Alright, we'll deal with this in a second. We will, however, pop Skull Throne and grab the Devotion's Tithe. Like so. We need the cash. And most likely... okay, wait. Huh? Looking through this stuff. Icon of Endless War, Talisman gained... oh, I guess we completed something. Let us see what we have here. Ah, the Bloodstone. Alright, lose the Crown of Command. I don't care for it. Talisman of Endurance, definitely need the healing cap. We can grab the... Spell Shield or Armor. 6 melee defense or 15 armor. Let's go with armor this time. And we have no weapons. Khorne. No weapons. Unbelievable. Icon of Endless War gives us leadership and vigor loss reduction. We'll grab the Gleaming Pennant, though I don't really find it to be particularly useful. And Khornate Zealot, we can probably give to you. Can you hold Khornate Zealots? Yes, you can. Yes, yes, yes. Rage, let's grab you Luckstone, Crown of Command, and I guess nothing else. Let's give us Sundering Armor, but yeah, there's just not enough. But you. We serve the greatest God. You should be able to go out to sea again and join these guys. I guess we can't travel with you two yet either, but oh well. Alright, Skarby. Icon of Endless War onto you, and then Gleaming Pennant onto, it doesn't really matter. Finally, we got ourselves a fight, and we got ourselves nearly 2 stacks, actually, definitely 2 stacks of peasants and 3 paladins or lords take out. Go.
Rejoice in slaughter, bathe in blood.
Alrighty, here we go. Time to rejoice in slaughter and bathe in blood, as Skarby says, at least as soon as we reach those peasant piles. They are a little bit distant from us. Fortunately, we do move fairly quick with the Khorne's Bloody Fists at 100 speed and Skarby himself at 80, which is pretty darn solid as well. If we just get him Strider, we'd really use a Banner of Swiftness on him. It's not like we need a Lichbone Pennant since he does magical damage anyway. Anyway, Khorne's Bloody Fist will lead the charge. and head directly towards the enemy lord. Unlike Skarbrand, Khorne's Bloody Fist has a anti-large bonus, so it's going to be pretty darn effective at this. Unless the enemy lord runs away. There we go. And a big boy whacks away at him, landing his first blow or not, I couldn't quite tell. Well, it looks like a few peasants got minced regardless, and yeah, looks like the first blows hit, and Skarby has arrived as well. Poor Bretonnian lord facing off against two bloodthirsters. I don't think he's going to be on the battlefield for all that long here, and is already down to about half of his HP. In the meantime, here come the rest of our forces. The Fleshhounds have looped around the enemy army and are smashing into the peasant bows, and gotta stop those pox archers from applying their poisons to us, and just from them just generally annoying our single entity monsters. The Bloodletters have also arrived, though it would be nice if the Knights of Origo did not have the sort of similar color scheme to us, so that it wasn't red on red, but I suppose everything will be red sooner or later regardless. Alrighty. Big old brawl against the peasants. The enemy lord has fallen, and the enemy archers have been forced to rout by the Fleshhounds engaging them. And now, piles of peasant mobs and men-at-arms are going to do their best to see if their numbers at 2-to-1 of the Bloodletters, technically in terms of models way more than 2-to-1, but anyway, will be enough for them to overwhelm the minor or lesser demons there. In the meantime, the reinforcements have arrived. We prepared for this by leaving both of our units of slow-moving Chaos Warriors of Khorne to protect our right flank against this little reinforcing army, and the shielding and the heavy armor will prevent the peasant bows from doing too much to them, I hope, while they hold off the men-at-arms. And the bigger army that has arrived, well, the Lord is once again going to get mobbed by both of the Bloodthirsters. And just to quickly take him off field and stop him buffing those peasants, while the Bloodletters have plenty more of those men-at-arms to face off against. The Fleshhounds, in the meantime, move to the enemy's back lines, as the enemy has arrived with a ton of archer units as well as bowmen, as well as a unit of trebuchets in tow. We do use our newly acquired item to summon one unit of Bloodletters amidst the enemy back line, and then the Fleshhounds quickly close the distance with the trebuchets. It does look like at least a few men-at-arms have moved to protect the relatively defenseless peasant archers against the onslaught of the summoned Bloodletters, but it probably won't be enough to make much of a difference. And Skarby did not manage to chase down the enemy lord, who, by the looks of it, had enough movement speed to get away, but will instead head to the next one, missing with both axes somehow. But hey, you know what? That just fuels his rage. In fact, I can't think of a single thing that wouldn't fuel his rage. Alrighty, and then the enemy lord tries to get away from him as well, but Skarby will force him into rampage and bring him down to half HP rather quickly, while we continue holding the enemy off. The other lord has arrived and quickly gets knocked down by Khorne's Bloody Fist as well. And it looks like this one's nearly out of the picture. Mount's power has shifted to about, let's say, 60% in our favor. The battle is hardly over, and we're actually having to withdraw a couple of our Bloodletters, not off the battlefield, mind you, just far enough away so that we can get the healthier units of Bloodletters to face off against the droves of peasants. Eventually, all those little halberds of theirs will, or polearms of theirs, will tell. We have very low melee defense and at only 23 after all on the Bloodletters. Fortunately, with Skarbrand to lead the right flank and the Khorne's Bloody Fist to lead the left flank, we should still be able to cut our way through the peasants. Actually, the battle is so distributed that I don't know where to look, but admittedly, since our army is primarily or pretty much entirely composed of Bloodletters, and the enemy army is pretty much entirely composed of men-at-arms and peasant bows, it's effectively the same picture everywhere on the battlefield. And while the enemy were fighting relatively evenly with us for a while, it's mostly just that their numbers. Look at our numbers, how slowly they're dropping compared to the enemy numbers. Very nice.
And by the looks of it, the enemy are starting to flee. The horns of retreat sound, and with that, Skarbrand, Khorne's bloody fists, the bloodletters, and the fleshhounds carry the day, and we'll take the time to cut down as many of those peasants as possible, as there is another little arm, or one of the little armies was outside of the settlement. Lovely. Alrighty, there we go. A magnificent battle, and look at those kill counts. So darn many of those poor peasants hacked apart. It's one of the reasons that Bretonnia is really fun to fight against in the early game, like fighting the undead or fighting against Skaven. There's just so darn many of those trash mobs to cut down. And besides, massacring peasants is the next best thing to oppressing them. So, you know, there's a little bit of Bretonnian in all of us. Anyway, let's see what we got. Skarby got 18k damage, but higher damage dealt his gold value, as he and the Khorne's Bloody Fist, admittedly, were both hunting the enemy lords, all three of which were killed on the battlefield. And their skulls, like the rest of the peasant skulls, actually worthy enough to, you know, do something with. Anyway, no Slaanesh giggle. Maybe a little one. Anyway, let's see. The Chaos Warriors of Khorne did well as well. Notice that they took a little damage, but they held off this little force by themselves, essentially. So it was 2 versus 7, which is pretty good. And we got 33k damage, 34k damage. It looks 45k damage, and 40k damage. Yeah, so at 45k, that's the best performing of the Bloodletters. And nearly 500 kills. That is certainly very nice. Now, here, Xandre is not a capital. And like I said, I think we'll want to... Oh, sacking would enable us to heal up a little bit. Or we could get the 1,000 skulls. Sacking would help us recharge our movement. Though admittedly, this would allow us to recover movement as well, even if not as much. This would be losing skulls, but still gaining... Oh, gaining a little blood host. At the cost of skulls, mind you. It might help us since we've just landed, but I don't want to spend... There's a lot of skulls to swap out. I'm inclined to take the skulls. Level 1 blood hosts are really weak, right? Can they move on the first turn? You know, I'm gonna do this because I need to know. Let's do blood for the blood god. Much as I'd like to do the skull thing. I just want to know whether level 1 immediately summoned blood hosts can immediately move or not. It's important. And let's see, okay, Skarbrand's regained some of his movement range, obviously. Oh, actually, a fair bit of it. Funnily enough, he could move all the way to El Haik and capture a capital. And, blood hosts, level 1 blood hosts cannot, in fact, move. Which is a bit of a shame, which means that we should probably do our best to chase these guys down. Alright, and that light... Yeah, Steed, Rugger... Neither of these guys like us very much. Who are you fighting currently? ILC Patrol and nobody else. Well, if we're going to raise everything around here, that might still be, you know, worthy of our time and attention. Skarby. Okay, so here's what we'll do. You guys are gonna have to cross this nonsense. Actually, not sure whether it would be faster just go out to sea and rather than cross the Mortis River Delta. Let's just do this way. And we need to leech XP. You guys stay together. Hopefully somebody doesn't sail out and kill you all. It would be unfortunate after all of that investment, and yeah, but it is what it is if it happens. So you can't move, Skarby. I would like you then to kill off Leon Dufour. Yes? Is there anything else that we need to do? I don't think so. Kill. And auto-resolve. And 85 skulls only. I'm gonna say grab the extra replenishment. Much as I'd like to offer as tribute as well, but let's devour them. And then let's devour these guys as well. Slaughter indeed, my friend. Slaughter indeed. And auto-resolve. And then will you still have the option? Yes, so we could do the upkeep reduction, but frankly, another 4 turns of replenishment and movement range might be just the thing, so I think I'm gonna do that instead. And Fleshhound Handler. Oh, this could have been useful before we recruited the Fleshhounds. Knights of what was the point of that? This was just the AI trying to irritate us, right? Like, what did that achieve? Nothing, that's what. Anyway, I guess since we're so close to Rapunzel and we've got a taste for casting down peasantry now, maybe we'll start moving this way. Skarby, you need to get to at rank 13. And we'll keep saving those points. You need to increase mobility, but otherwise, you're good as you are. A battle worth waiting for, I think. And at the end of the day, I think, you know, more rarer big battles can be better than, you know, more rare big battles can be better than, you know, very occasional small battles. Stormhenge, we need growth first. And yes, once again, I am aware that we do get growth out of fighting fights, but clearly it's not enough. Galbaraz, we will want to upgrade you to a Dimensional Breach. And here, can we upgrade Death Gorge yet? Not yet. We can upgrade both of these, but I'm not willing to pay 5,000 gold to do so, at least not at this time. And with the growth, we're fine. Nobody else needs to move, and I believe we're ready to end the turn. So skip, and end the turn. Funnily enough, we could have used the demonic summoning to have the hostile army attack Skarby here and then immediately push to Al-Haik, but all good, I suppose. Besides, I do kind of want to land these guys in order to leech XP. Huh, you moved away. I don't know who these guys are fighting. Are you fighting Arcan right now? Now that we're down here, we're fighting everybody. Although, I guess we occupy Al-Haik and let the ruins just colonize themselves. I know it's yellow territories, and wait, do we have a negative control in these territories? We do, so we'd have to build control structures, but that is what it is. Alright, Confederation, Thegans Errantry, and Chevalier de Lyonesse, good for them. Relentless Rage is up, and... Really? Recruit an additional lord, really? Okay. This amuses me. I think we've recruited plenty, but sure. Yes, skull flensing. Skulls gained from kills. This is what we want. That's what we're taking. I'm not super fond of the fact that it costs us skulls, but, you know, it's Khorne. What do you expect? Ah, well, these guys really like us now thanks to that gift. All right, go for the forge. How's that vassalage looking? Not Agrul Megdal, Floating Village. Nearly there. All right. As long as they don't get themselves killed by fighting anybody, really. We could get access to all of the Beastmanly units we want. Now, Blood Host. You have 3 turns until you start attritionating. Are you of any real use to us right now? Mostly not. We're probably going to use you to chase armies down. Skarby, I would like you to go right here onto this side of Al-Haik. I want to see what's going on out here. I see Martek. Oh, there's iron down here as well. I mean, there's some good stuff down here. What does spices do for us? Attack for marauders, maybe? Melee attack +1 for our own army's faction wide. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. What else is here? Nothing, and do we get any benefit out of the hidden caravanserai out of the Great Desert of Araby? I guess we'll find out. I don't know. It's just a rhetorical question. Shut up. Anyway, Rugger, land. Get ready to leech, my friend. You get... Huh. Oh, I don't like you moving this way. Huh. Yeah, we don't want to compete for territory with you. Wine, control, but otherwise doesn't do much of anything for us. You go here. And you will try to attempt to do the same. And you will go. You can't land directly, can you? But looks of it not. I don't think these guys will attack us because they like us reasonably well. All of these military actions against their foes. Yeah. Alrighty, you. Currently at war with followers of Nagash and Pirates of Sartosa. Pirates of Sartosa. How much money will you give us for this? 630. How about the followers of Nagash? You may hate us, but you may be able to give us more money. Why are you useless? Alright, I'll take the more money, even if it isn't that much more money. We will join your war against the Warherd of... No, Chevalier de Lyonesse. I'm not going to do the non-aggression pact.
We're ship-shape.
I think so. Are we ship-shape? Alright, and I wonder where Rapunzel is. She might have lost her main stack. That's a little bit unfortunate. I would have loved for Skarby to have a nice little duel against her, but oh well. Ooh, hello. You have reached some stuff. Now, this is... Oh, well, you haven't reached the main thing. And we can pick a Locus. I'm inclined to generally do Locus of Wrath for the additional massive amount of melee attack, though for Khorne, melee attack is pretty cheap. We could also do the 30 seconds of spell resistance out of the Locus of Abjuration, which might... It would be the better pick in a demonic unit-focused army, like cheap bloodletters, so I think we'll hold off on applying that point, at least for now. Feral Rage, no thank you. And yeah, none of this. Okay, so, Al-Haik, what do we have in terms of defense? No, I didn't mean to double-click it, my bad. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Alright, this is looking like it's worthy of our attention in terms of fighting, so... Let us attack it. Wait, 1 second. You are tier 3. Might sack you to keep Skarby moving. Decent option as well. We can always reclaim it afterwards. As in with one of these. Oh, but then these guys will. Well, we could sack it and then claim it. Or we could sack it, come back. Something like that. Well, I guess we'll find out. For now, though, it's fighting time. Yeah, only the two... You know,
Today we raid brutal torment. This is what we live for. This is Khorne's command.
Alrighty, here we go. We've got ourselves a garrisoned settlement with walls, and we're just going to have to do our best to break through that gate, because I don't use the butt ladders, therefore this is the only way through. We could have also assaulted multiple gates at the same time, but it's better this way, as on this map, this little set of towers here is not active. But I do find it a bit of a weird fortification to build with nothing protecting this side, but whatever. Anyway, at least the enemy does have a set of trebuchets back there, which will probably dish out a little bit of damage to our Chaos Warriors of Khorne, which are heading towards the gate just as Skarbrand is. You know, Skarbrand, I feel like Skarbrand should be able to tear down walls, you know? I feel like he's angry enough to keep whacking away at them with his axe until he breaks through a wall. I'm surprised that he's not able to, like, you know, dinosaur units are. Or Skullcracker. Well, yeah. Skarbrand should be able to break through walls. Anyway, he'll be able to break through that gate eventually. He's taken about 30% of its HP off, and to make sure that the enemy or units aren't firing their annoying arrows down upon us, the Khorne's Bloody Fist will use those relatively intact wings to move its way up there and make sure that only melee units are occupying the place. In the meantime, the enemy knights errant are trying to mob Skarbrand in the midst of the gate, and it looks like pin him in place to allow the peasant foes to dish out the damage. Now, it's not the knights or obviously the men-at-arms that are going to be the major threat in this particular battle, but indeed all of those range units, which will continuously non-stop for the entire battle be trying to focus Skarbrand and the Khorne's Bloody Fist down. Speaking of Skarbrand, he's going to activate that item of his Bloodstone, or whatever it is, and summon a unit of Bloodletters amidst the blob of enemies here. It will mean that the enemy probably cuts them down relatively quickly, but at the same time, they'll do a little bit of damage and, more importantly, distract the enemy, while our other units, including the Herald of Khorne, keep whacking away at the gate, while Skarbrand himself is a little busy. And obviously this is going to make this assault a fair bit tougher, as we have to work our way through the gate and then this choke point, but, well, that's the way we likes it. And our units can just take the damage that they need to take while going through the brutal choke point here, like proper bloody Khornesmen. In the meantime, the Khorne's Bloody Fist has moved towards that field trebuchet, which was annoyingly firing at the gate and thereby hitting our units of Chaos Warriors of Khorne while they were attacking it. Fortunately, we clear the field trebs of their crew relatively quickly, but Khorne's Bloody Fist has already taken about 25% of its HP and damage from the enemy range units. And is just going to have to do its best to bounce back and forth between them and knock them out. Unfortunately, these guys don't kill fast enough to actually get rid of the piles of range units that quick, and with the 5, I want to say, units of bowmen, every single other one will be focusing the Khorne's Bloody Fist down while it deals with them. Skarbrand himself is down to about 60% of his HP, but has been mincing many a peasant and many a knight alike. And in the meantime, the gate continues to drop and is now down to 1,606 HP. So the rest of our army will soon, well, maybe not quite be able to move into the settlement, but at least be able to make their way past attacking the gate and going after better targets. There are knights errant here after all, so higher quality skulls to collect. In the meantime, I guess at least we're getting plenty of shots of Skarbrand doing his thing. Definitely the star of the show here, as the poor Khorne's Bloody Fist is now down to half of his HP, and not a lot of damage to the peasant bows. But it is an anti-large unit after all, so perhaps unsurprising that while it is mincing them, it is doing so relatively slowly. But at least they're not firing at Skarby, I guess, who has now moved to annoy a few of the enemy peasant bows instead, before rushing back in, charging the rear lines of the enemies blobbed up around the gate, and then popping off that rage embodied just as the gate comes down. There it is, with the gates destroyed, our Chaos Warriors of Khorne and our Bloodletter, or our Herald of Khorne, or our Blood Reaper in this particular army, is going to be able to help out now. Alright, and otherwise, our reinforcements have arrived on the field, so the Blood Speakers, which frankly we would have been probably well positioned to wait for, since the enemy couldn't attack us from a distance anyway, will be able to help out with their murderous exhortations and, more importantly, their blood sacrifice to heal Khorne's Bloody Fist and Skarbrand, both of which are now down to about half of their HP, but still fighting. Keep in mind, of course, that Khorne's Bloody Fist has a Gore Feast, so it will heal itself in melee, although I think Skarbrand doesn't have it. I assume that he gets it as part of his rank 12 or whatever. Anyway, those darn range units are still being very, very irritating to both of these guys. I don't imagine the melee units have done much to them whatsoever, but the arrows continue to fall. Oh well, just gotta keep working at it until the Blood Speakers are here to heal these guys up, and then just continue making sure that those range units stop firing. Frankly, there's a decent likelihood that they simply run out of ammunition. On the right side, with the enemy actually trying to defend them, it's allowing our Chaos Warriors of Khorne to cut down those fragile knights errant. And soon, with the last of the knights falling and or fleeing, we will be able to make our way into the settlement through the breach and start attacking everybody. Nearly there. Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot of value out of these two units of Khornate warriors here. Almost tempted to upgrade them to Wrathmongers instead of Chosen, if we keep them in this army. I wasn't originally gonna, but they've done such a great job in sort of acting as critical units in this early game that I feel like they deserve to be rewarded. Anyway, the gate is breached, the enemy are no longer occupying it, and now Khornates aplenty are streaming into the enemy settlement. Desperately, the peasants rush to try to stem the tide, even getting a nice little charge out of the mounted yeomen, but frankly the fragile yeomen are just going to get cut down by the Bloodletters, which are here now and attack and kill much faster than the sword and board units of Chaos Warriors do. I was almost tempted to side grade them to Twin Axes, because in the early game, Twin Axe Warriors of Khorne are just absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, considering they're the only units here, thanks to their shields, that are decent against, well, decent on the approach to an enemy position with lots of range units, I decided to keep them as they are. And there we go. The battle proper has been... Oh, wow, what the heck? Why is the Blood Speaker so big? Damn those Chaos steroids. He makes those little knights look tiny by comparison. And I'm pretty sure SFO reduces the sizes of lords and stuff to, like, relatively normal sizes, so this is just Chaos roids. Lord. But I guess it does make sense. If you look at Chaos Knights beside regular Knights, they also absolutely tower over them.
Alrighty, and those are not the Horns of Retreat, but they are, I think, the Horns of Almost Retreat, as the balance power has shifted to about 80% in our favor now. Skarbrand and the Khorne's Bloody Fist have reunited, as the enemy's Paladin has attempted to heroically move towards the breach in the gate. But he will not be able to hold it himself, and gets pretty much torn apart. Skarbrand gets a little bit of healing from one of the Blood Speakers. And the rest of our units just have to continue moving forward as more and more of our units move in. We still have the Flesh Hounds, which are outside, and more Bloodletters as well. So with every passing second, the situation is going to look uglier for the poor Bretonnian defenders. There's another Murderous Exhortations. Again, this really could have helped when we were trying to move through the breach, but I am not known for my patience. And I don't think Khorne is either, so, you know. You gotta play to your audience. Khorne watches us all. Anyway. It's a real life lesson now. The balance power shifts to 90% in our favor. And ooh, the Paladin has a return, though probably not for long. And it looks like the archers are once again trying to rotate our bloodthirsters. And, oh wow, he survived that. Alright, well, he won't survive another. Okay, he survived another, but he won't survive another. Come on, hit him with your axe. Garby, please. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, fine. Go after the peasant instead of the paladin. This is much more important, I'm sure. Alright, the paladin, please, again. He's just getting pushed around. Oh, it looks like Skarby did land the blow, just didn't finish him off. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but all good. Not that it matters over much, as the peasants see their paladin fleeing, and with the champion of Bretonnia not being able to stand up, what hope do the poor little peasants have? With that, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours just as the last of our units make their way into the enemy settlement. We'll cut down everything we can. I don't think we need to for the purpose of additional rewards. This is a settlement battle, but we could take the opportunity to make use of a little bit of that gore feast on the Khorne's Bloody Fist. Lovely little fight. Alrighty, there we go. Some great work out of Skarbrand and the Khorne's Bloody Fist, both of which took a pretty massive amount of damage, and we can see just how much range remains in the meta, as even Skarbrand and an exalted or a regiment of renowned bloodthirster are very much threatened by even a single unit of peasants with bows, and well, maybe not so much by the infantry, comparatively. Still, we were able to work our way through the gate without using the butt ladders and cut everybody down within the walls. Now, let us see what we are looking at here. So, we can... Okay, I'm not going to bother getting another skulls or blood for the blood god, much as I'd like the replenishment and all, but it's not worth the skulls. I did say I wanted to either sack the place or raise it. If we sack it, we can then reoccupy it. Hopefully. Though I am a little bit concerned about the fact that this little army is nearby. You know what? Sack it first anyway. I want to see. You will... Coronate Mutant. Yes. Casualty or punishment. Oh, you... Skarby... Ooh, glittering scales. Nice. Ooh, void armor. Oh, actually not that nice, but better than nothing. Alright, so real quick, that's our first armor. So, oh wait, actually, obsidian armor versus 10% physical resistance. Against most units, we'd probably get more value, though the fear and terror doesn't do too much for us here, so yeah, do that. And we still have no weapon. Game, what is this? Why are you like this? Potion of Farsight, Potion of Foolhardiness, fuse into another Crown of Command, really? Now, Crown of Command isn't actually too bad for demonic factions, but if we can get more bloodstones, that would be real nice. Now we got a Rock of Inevitability, which is actually also a nice pickup, so we'll keep that as well. Wait, actually Bloodstone is... Oh, it's Lord's Army, so, earlier I was thinking we could use these you know, on heroes. I mean, we still can just for the summoning, but the vigor loss wouldn't be conferred, which is a little bit unfortunate. But what can you do? Grab the Rock of Inevitability here. Frankly, we'll probably swap this out eventually to one of the blood speakers, but you know, eventually, not now. And glittering scales. We could actually give this to Skarby, but put it on you for now. You can have the debuffs, the auras. Seeing as how you're probably going to be supporting on a blood shrine, that does make sense. And oh, we didn't level from that. It's a little bit disappointing. And you have sacked the place, but you did not really. Huh? Am I crazy, or did we sack the? Did we not sack the place? Did I? Huh? Huh? Excuse me? What are you talking about, game? Okay, I don't understand, but whatever. Auto-resolve. Again. We did sack it, right? Yeah, we did. What, the other options are... What the heck? Well, that's annoying. That didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. Oh, well, whatever, just talk about it. Whatever. Annoying, but it is what it is. Coordinate Familiar, character XP gain, and campaign line of sight. There's the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, and hello. Mission issued. Gain a bloodletting streak of 8 victories. A free obsidian blade. That'll power up Skarby. Until we can get Carnage and Slaughter, was it? Slaughter and Sure. Close enough. Come on now. Yeah, that's great. It gives us a decent chunk of change as well, which is also nice. So you still not rank 10, and Skarby. Lose the Gleaming Pennant because I don't care for it. Grab the... What did I want? Oh, you already have a Coordinate Mutant. That's all units in army. I wonder if this does work for heroes. Probably can't tell, can we? Let's see. 2,600 versus... 2,800. It does work. Huh, meaning, frankly, it's probably later on gonna be better for everybody other than Skarbrand to hold one of these, because obviously Skarbrand can hold banners and such, and other important things. Grab the Coordinate Familiar. It's not a lot of extra XP, but every little bit counts. And still no weapon. This will continue bothering me. Are you really unable to land anywhere? Okay, fine. Yeah, what I really wanted was to be able to get Skarbrand to sack this, then move here, and then with his recovered movement range, go to Fyrus and Kofor, etc., raise them all for the requisite skulls, but can't do that right now, so it is what it is. Oh well, everything here will be raised. Well, all the non-capitals will be raised, and we'll leave them to occupy themselves. Hopefully we'll have enough public order for this to be dealt with. Also, Tavi, you need to move down there, buddy. You want to go out to sea immediately? What's actually going to be faster? Shouldn't make much of a difference. However, we are in the plus... Oh, wrong commandment. Oh well. So it won't make any difference. I was thinking of this command with the campaign movement range plus 30. On the bright side, though, we do have the Get Death Gorge thing now, so we can start changing you out to an Infernal Citadel. It will mean losing the Coordinate Calefactor, but I don't see really a way to avoid it. We could wait it will take 4 turns. In 6 turns, we could increase the hero capacity. You know what? Wait 2 turns or so. Because it will enable us to make use of Reaper of Ages to quickly grab another Blood Reaper and then get rid of this building. I think that makes more sense. I believe we get to keep this building because I don't want to have invested in it and, you know, it will have been a waste. Actually, if we're waiting for 2 turns anyway, we could upgrade Gorgazan and just get that... Get that iron going there in preparation for recruitment, though I'm a little bit worried about the... no, it's going to take too long to grow this. Yeah, no, not worth it. Although the recruitment cost reduction... whatever. Anyway, I believe we're ready to end the turn, minus the Crimson Fiends here. I mean, you are in range of the Pools of Despair, but I'm not sure that we... I mean, if we declare war on these guys, when we declare war on these guys... Go into raiding for now. We can make more money probably out of the Black Tower of Arcan, right? 135 versus the exact same amount, so it doesn't matter. Alright, stay here. Oh, I'm willing to bet that Khemri has an army nearby and they might take Pools of Despair, but whatever, all good. Not like any of these guys are gonna like us anyway. Skip. And damage building, where are you? Oh, here. I'm gonna say don't waste money repairing it as yet. Not worth it. Alrighty, and then did we build up the floating village? Okay, one more turn. Alright, I'm willing to end the turn right now. I just want to see if that floating village thing will work out. If we were playing as the Puppets of Misrule, we could rename it to Floating Village. Ha 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 ha. I miss all the cat puns. Anyway, from Bashiva's campaign. Oh, I am interested to see what SFO did with the Tigermen and the Sawai Lords and how the changes that it made. I gotta take a look at those out of curiosity. Anyway, floating, okay, Cult of Sigmar destroyed, Berkvar destroyed, okay, skulls gained from kills, okay, so that's the important one, then we got 5 turns to do this, alright, then, floating village, there you go, and give us all your money? Oh no, they're now at war with the Thief Snatchers. I don't like that, in fact I don't like that at all. Nonetheless, become vassal. This will actually save them from being at war with them, unless these guys declare war on us, but whatever. And then outpost, we will build this in the sunken Karnark. Like so. Alrighty. Now there's a full set of beastmanly herd stones in one location. I don't want to, move around in the Marshes of Madness anyway, so this actually works decently well for us, and we should have access to their units as long as we can protect them. Oh wow, Henry does not like us. Well, the fighting will continue until morale improves. Anyway, with that, folks, we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we... 99% likelihood we'll attack Arcan, because he's right there, and I'm disinclined to, not attack him. He's right there. That's a free kill, and then quickly move through raising all of this before looping back around towards Camry, which I wasn't originally gonna do, but this way we won't have a lot of admin in terms of these territories, as we wouldn't invest in them really at all, because they're yellow territories. I'm not willing to pay for it, and just leave them to the, sort of exist, while picking up all of the extra trade goods and stuff. And developing our 2 main territories like this until we are ready to pop off another army, hopefully next episode to go northward through the territories of the Greenskins, and then northward as well. Now, we don't like temperate climate. Wait, let me just double check here. So suitable frozen, wasteland, mountain, and chaotic wasteland, eh? Huh. It's almost incentivizing us to attack Queek here. I'll think about it. Fighting rats is fun, like I said, just as hacking down all those Bretonnian peasants, but anyway, I digress. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more Skarby. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.